Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like it's just really weird when you talk about faults of a game, because people have different faults, and it's like they're so vague in their analysis. Like Sonic Colors had too much 2D. It's like, okay, well, what about the 2D was bad about it? Like, are you saying the 2D in general was bad? Are you saying that the 3D was so limited it shouldn't have been put in? Are you saying that the 3D was really good, so they should have expanded upon the 3D and done less 2D? Like, it had too much 2D is like, okay, but was the 2D bad? I mean, if you feel like it had too much 2D and the 2D was bad, you know, then that makes more sense. Okay, but I mean, if you're saying it had too much 2D, well, why do you feel like it was too much 2D? Like, that's kind of what I mean. Okay, if the game was linear, what about the linearity of the game was bad? If the controls were bad, what about the controls were bad? Were they too loose? Were they not responsive? You know, like, there is always the vague, it was this, but they're never actually explaining why that's a bad thing. That's just me. I mean, like, that's why nowadays I just tend to say that I like something or I didn't like it, because that's always opinion based. If you like a game, you like the game because there was something about the game that you enjoyed. Like, a lot of people can't stand the controls of 06. I really like the controls of 06. They're very loose, which is a bad thing for some people, but I like how loose the controls are. Granted, there are some things that I would change about the control scheme. Like I said earlier, when you jump, if you're moving, you can't stop. That's a bad thing. It's something that I can compensate for, but I'm not going to sit here and act like that's a good thing, or that's a thing that should be in the game. That's obviously a bad thing. And that's what I mean when I talk about these games. Sometimes I look past the bad, but that's why I come to an understanding of why people label something as a bad game, despite the fact that I enjoy playing it. I'm not going to be oblivious to that fact. I'm aware of what most people are going to consider bad, and if most people consider something bad, chances are you're just going to have to say that it's bad, because there's a standard. That's what the word comes from, the standard. That's what people expect. That's the expectation of people. If 100 people say that a good game, not 100, if the majority of people say that a good game is bad, then unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. It's bad. If the masses told you, or if the masses established that running faster than 10 miles per hour is a bad thing, unfortunately, running faster than 10 miles per hour is a bad thing. Whether it's essentially a bad thing or not, you know, it's a majority thing. And that's how you should be able to approach this. You should be able to like whatever games you like, enjoy whatever games you enjoy, but at the same time, you need to be able to take a step back, remove your objectiveness, and actually see why people feel a game is bad. And it helps you better understand what the masses are looking for, because unfortunately, that's what's going to drive video games in the long run. It's what the masses want. If the masses want nothing but shooters, guess what we're going to get? Gonna get nothing but shooters. If the masses want nothing but RPGs, guess what we get? Nothing but RPGs. If the masses want nothing but platformers, guess what we get? We get platformers. Unfortunately, the masses drive many things in the world, and unfortunately, that's what you have to come to expect. I mean, sometimes you just got to realize that you are the odd one out. You know, like, I enjoy playing 06. My first playthrough of 06 was enjoyable. I'm a part of the minority. But I mean, I can still step back and see, like, the load times are bad. I like the load times when I'm speed running because it gives me time to read the chat. Like, I'm the type that likes to look at the positives. It's easy to focus on the negatives. I like to look at the positives. And I mean, even for me, it's sometimes hard to do that. Like, I don't see any positives until Sky Patrol, so that's why I don't play that. But that's what I mean. Like, despite the fact that I can find a positive in it, I'm not going to sit here and say that the load times for 06 are acceptable, because they're not. Especially if you're on PS3, because if you think these are long, they're even longer on the PS3 version because you have no way to write to the hard drive or anything like that. Oh, no. See, I just remembered. There was one more thing I wanted to look at. Ralph Z. I completely forgot. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I try to do. I try to understand this from the perspective of the masses, while still holding true to what I actually think about a game. If I enjoy a game, nothing is going to stop me from enjoying it. If I was legitimately the only person in the world who enjoyed playing 06, I'd still be playing 06. I don't care. Like, I enjoy playing the game. I'm gonna continue to enjoy playing the game, and I'll let everyone else rip on it. I don't care. But that's what it should be about. You should be trying to increase your understanding of the world around you while staying true to the values or whatever that you hold as well. Understanding is a very important thing, people. It can mitigate a lot of negativity.
Now it's my turn.
These first few hits I'm not really concerned about. Oh snap. Yeah, he's gonna run away. It's this last one that I'm more concerned about than anything. Can this be a highlight? I need to just start highlighting real talk sessions. But nah, yeah, I can do that. Because I like this one. I feel like I have at least one of these talks every stream. But I just don't get it. Like, that's one of the things that bugs me a lot. When people, like, they can't hold on or accept the fact that you like something that they don't like. I mean, to some degree, there are some cases where it's understandable. I'm not gonna lie, there are some cases, but I mean, like, with gaming, of all things, video games, you're gonna get mad over people what they prefer in video games, or what they prefer in movies, or any other form of entertainment. Like, me liking 06 shouldn't harm you in any way, shape, or form. Me liking the worst game known to man shouldn't even harm you in any way, shape, or form. Me wanting to go out on the streets and stab somebody out of enjoyment, that should concern you. Like, if that was the case, I'd understand, because now I'm causing harm to the well-being of some other individual on Earth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to force my opinions on what's good and what's bad on anybody. I'm just trying to let you know why I feel something is bad or why I feel something is good, so that you can get more perspective on what other people think in their mind, you know? Like, now, okay, so this is why you think this is good. Interesting. I never really thought about it that way. Now, granted, while I do respect your opinion, I'm not going to change mine. It gives me more insight, you know? And then you ask somebody else, and if they agree with them, you're like, oh, okay. Well, see, the more that I hear this, the more I understand why people really like this game. I still feel the same way that I feel. You know, it happens because opinions, that's just how I feel about it. But I don't understand what hurts about trying to understand why people like something. And even when you hear the reasonings, if the reasonings sound bad to you, just, I don't know, just try to understand that that's their mindset. That's how they approach the game. They try to look for the positives in life, you know? Not always focusing on the negative. Not always focusing on what everybody else enjoys. That type of thing. Because if I would have went off of popular opinion on Sonic 06, like, let's say that I would have never gotten 06, right? I gave the game like a month or so, and then I looked at what people were saying. If I based my video game purchases solely off of what other people said, I would have never played 06. And despite the shortcomings of 06, which I say it time and time again, I wish 06 would have been finished. Despite all of its shortcomings, it's still one of my favorite Sonic games to play. So, I mean, it's nice to go off of the opinions of other people and what have you, but I mean, I know that my enjoyment of video games is very broad. It surpasses a lot of what other people are willing to accept or give a chance and things like that. So if I see a game and I want to play it, I grab it. And if I end up not liking the game in the long run, then oh well, I just wasted my own money. It's not like I took money from your pocket or anything. Like, I just wasted my money and my time. And I guess if I don't want to make the same mistake in the future, I'll assess the game a bit more before I grab it. It's always up to the individual. But I mean, when it directly affects you, then I can understand why. But me purchasing 06, it shouldn't directly affect you. You know what I mean? Because I'm one person. And you already know how the majority feels about the game, so obviously they're not going to give 06 another chance. But, you know, let me do me. If I find enjoyment out of 06, then that's what I'm going to do. Just going to play some 06. Just like I find enjoyment out of SA2B, which is a very popular Sonic game. When that people give a lot of praise, I feel too much praise. But, you know, I mean, I play a range of good and bad. I don't care what's good and bad. I care about what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. It's so simple when you look at it that way, people. I literally do not care about how much a game sucks or is great. You know, I don't care. The question is, do I enjoy the game? It could be proclaimed the best game since the history of video gaming. If I play it and I don't enjoy it, I will let you know. This game that absolutely everybody else in the world enjoys, I don't enjoy it. So I won't play it, and I'll toss it aside. And I won't care what kind of backlash I get or what people have to say. Why am I going to play a game that I don't enjoy? Isn't that... I hope that's why you play video games, for enjoyment. If you don't, then... I mean, that's you, but that's why I play video games. Out of enjoyment. Yo, what's up, Silver Sonic?